Greetings, fellow Earthlings, and welcome to the beach. Whee! Nobody wants to travel halfway across the world to have a bad vacation. And any of you that have visited Los Angeles may, at some point during your stay, have thought that maybe it's just a huge, hot, dirty, impatient city with a world-famous traffic problem. And you may have had a point. Now that I live close to Los Angeles, I have to come up here sometimes for work, and I wanted to share with you some of the ways that I've found to enjoy the city. Now, rule number one is don't try to go anywhere, if you don't have to, during rush hour. And to that end, when we came up here to meet with Matt Farah, we decided to stay here the night before so that we could be all perky the next day for the meeting. And believe it or not, the Millennium Biltmore Hotel is one of the cheapest places to stay in Los Angeles.
Before we head to the fake Beverly Hills, we're going to start in the real Beverly Hills. Specifically from the Beverly Center, a great place for you professional shoppers. It's also a great place to get a lay of the land. There's the Hollywood sign, everyone cares about that. A mere 1 mile to the south, we find the Griffith Observatory. The observatory has been featured in a number of niche, low-budget art films, such as Transformers and Terminator. Located a solid 12 miles or 18 hours from Beverly Hills is our destination, downtown Los Angeles. The Millennium Biltmore first opened its doors to a bustling downtown Los Angeles in 1923. This photo is showing the original east-facing lobby entrance on Olive Street. The building's distinctive E-shape was to allow more hotel guests a view of what is today the Pershing Square car park. The modern-day drive-through lobby entrance on Grand Avenue may be more practical, but it is certainly less impressive. What is impressive, though, is the job they did rebuilding the US Bank Tower, America's 18th tallest building, also home to the world's highest outdoor restaurant. Some of you may recognize the US Bank Tower from the tremendous damage caused by those pesky aliens back in Independence Day 1996. Hotel guests can park in the Residence Club for $45 per day.
Excuse me?
Originally, the lobby was a ballroom called the Music Room. It was also home to John F. Kennedy's presidential campaign in 1960. Many of you may recognize those distinctive skylights from the Sedgwick Slimer entrapment scene in the 1984 movie Ghostbusters. Movie magic may not have convinced us that ghosts were real, but it certainly fooled me into thinking that Ecto-1 pulled up to the lobby of a New York hotel. In reality, it's a side entrance on Fifth Avenue that remains locked outside of special events. You'll also be rewarded for looking up while you're exploring the Biltmore. Sicilian artist Giovanni Battista Smeraldi is responsible for much of the ceiling art at the Biltmore. Smeraldi's work can also be seen at the White House and the Vatican. The Tavatine walls and Gothic styling of the original 1920s lobby make it a really nice place to be. This lobby also played the less welcoming and far more fictional Beverly Palm Hotel in the 1984 Eddie Murphy movie Beverly Hills Cop. These days it's called the Rendezvous Court. You can come here for brunch and admire the Gothic staircase inspired by the Burgos Cathedral in Spain. And who knows, perhaps you too can convince a Studley Damon Wayans to unwittingly aid and abet you with some improvised malicious mischief on an undercover police vehicle. John Hamm and January Jones's character also get together for a drink at the Rendezvous Court in the AMC series Mad Men. As you enter the Biltmore from the original lobby, the first thing that greets you is the hotel bar. The Biltmore's Gallery Bar has played many fictional locations over the years. However, it was the actual location in 1927 where Cedric Gibbons designed the original Oscar statue on one of the hotel's linen napkins. 8 Academy Awards have been held at the Biltmore. Right next to the Gallery Bar are the 6 hotel elevators, themselves no strangers to the limelight, including Tom Hanks's second movie ever, 1984's Bachelor Party. For those of you wondering where's the Porsche content, Porsche coming up. The antagonist character in the Bachelor Party movie, played by Robert Prescott, does have his Porsche somewhat upgraded. And for those of you wondering, that's a 1974 Porsche 911 Targa. The original 1920s lobby entrance on Olive Street was very busy in the 1980s. There is a distinctive piece of metal in the concrete sidewalk just outside the lobby entrance. That piece of metal is in Tom Hanks's first movie. Can anyone guess what Tom Hanks's first movie was? Well, there's a fish in it, and that fish was played by Daryl Hannah, right there in front of the Millennium Biltmore Hotel. When not hosting presidential campaigns or paranormal bounty hunters, the lobby may randomly become the realm of pop royalty. Taylor Swift recorded the music video for her song Delicate at the Millennium Biltmore. Not to be outdone, Janet Jackson and Missy Elliott also recorded a music video here, and of course Britney Spears. For those with a guilty conscience, the entrance to the Biltmore Fitness Centre is next to the Gallery Bar. This Roman-style pool has hosted a number of movies, including 1999's Cruel Intentions with Reese Witherspoon and Ryan Phillippe. You might have caught Harvey Keitel and Warren Beatty going at it down here as well. For a hotel fitness centre, it's got a pretty good selection of machines. Not bad, really. The standard rooms are fairly austere when compared with the opulence of the ground floor, but they do have all the mod cons. They've obviously been upgraded many times over the years, and they do still have that still going after 100 years kind of charm to them. For a mere $20,000 per night, you and 12 of your best friends can enjoy the presidential suite at the Millennium Biltmore Hotel. Sharing the same bed as Roosevelt, Truman, Kennedy, Johnson, Reagan, and even Bill Clinton. Presumably they have changed the sheets. While you're running around the endless hallways of the Biltmore in the middle of the night searching for ghosts, don't forget to check out the truly vertigo-inducing stairwells. And of course, those stairwells are far from immune to a spontaneous dance routine, this time thanks to the cast of Glee. Since day one, the ballrooms have been a focal point of the Biltmore Hotel. The Gold Room, shown here as featured in the movie Wedding Crashers, starring Owen Wilson, Christopher Walken, and Rachel McAdams. And of course the Crystal Ballroom, named after the Austrian crystal used in its chandeliers. Jeff Bridges and Michelle Pfeiffer performed here in The Fabulous Baker Boys. It was Sylvester Stallone's gym in Rocky III. It's also the location of the prom at the end of Pretty in Pink with Molly Ringwald and John Cryer. It's also the location of the tango scene from True Lies, starring Arnold Schwarzenegger and Jamie Lee Curtis. More recently, you might recognize Ed Sheeran and Brittany Cherry dancing in the Thinking Out Loud music video.
All right then, time to talk about the elephant in the hotel room. How is it that such a beautifully appointed, historically significant downtown hotel can cost less to stay in than a Holiday Inn? Well, in most cities across the globe, it's a great idea to stay downtown. And that used to be the case in Los Angeles up until about 1950, when President Eisenhower came up with the interstate highway system. That allowed people much more mobility and the choice to leave the city. And they did. And then in 1955, Disneyland opened 30 miles south in Anaheim. Universal Studios is 20 miles north of here, and the closest beach has never been closer than 15 miles. All of these factors contribute to making downtown today a bit of an urban desert. So it's great for business lunches, not so awesome for a vacationing family. If you want to eat, you might want to plan ahead on what you want to eat and how you're going to get it. Having said that though, for the visiting movie fan, the Millennium Biltmore Hotel is a great place to visit. Unfortunately though, that is all we have time for this week. Thank you very much for watching. Till next time.
Hold on, what's the dog doing? Oh yeah, subscribe now. Delta says thank you.